What's going on, YouTube? Lloyd Phillips here, host of the Life and Times podcast. This week, we took a couple weeks off for the Thanksgiving holiday, but this week, lots of things have happened. I don't like the Brim hats. I call them the LBJ hats. It's a new trend. It's not actually, it's not new, but the masses, it's new to the masses. And I think they're pretty nerdy. And I was in an earthquake for the first time in my life. I've been waiting to be in an earthquake just so I could say it out loud. Bucket list, I guess. Anyway, check out the show. Like and subscribe if you like it. Love everybody. Welcome back to the Lifetimes podcast. I'm your host, Lloyd Phillips. It's good to be here on this fine day. We skipped it. What's up, Layton?
Hey, how's it going?
Well, pretty good. We skipped this past week. It was a holiday.
And the week before.
Well, it's a 2-week holiday for Thanksgiving, typically. It pretty much was. I wasn't here, right?
Yes.
So anyway. Having said all that, it's the Christmas time of season. I don't know. Do you like Christmas time?
I love it.
Actually, I do. It's probably my most favorite holiday besides President's Day. And that's a big one. President's Day is a real big one.
Yeah.
Everybody gets fired up about it around my house. Yeah. I do like the holiday season. I'm just going to say it because it's the first day back, and actually right now, because I always act like they're on Mondays because whatever during the week, but we record them Sunday. The world premiere, I don't even know what it's called. Candace Cameron's beret. Actually, I thought it was Candace Burr my whole adult life because it was Cameron as a kid. DJ from Full House.
There you go.
She recorded a movie in Claremore. We probably talked about it on this podcast before, but it's the world premiere is right now. It's actually on right now.
Yeah, I got it on DVR downstairs.
Yeah, so if you're watching it live, you're right now in the final scenes. Mm-hmm. Just excited. Probably a tearjerker.
Probably at the edge of your seat.
Real tearjerker.
Yep.
Yeah, those are on American Family. It's not on Hallmark anymore. Because remember how nobody likes Hallmark because Hallmark sucks. And so it's on American Family. They promote different values. That's why she moved over there. I read the article. Yeah. Anyway, so having said that, it's Christmas time of season, and it brings out people to wear different things. Mm-hmm. And this has been a trend for probably the last couple of years. It's there. The people that wear those LBJ hats or whatever they're called? I call them LBJ. Lyndon B. Johnson, he was the president of the United States. And the people that wear those tiny cowboy hats.
Oh, okay.
The straight brimmed cowboy hats, though they're not cowboy hats, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And it's trendy. Mm-hmm. And I felt like more of the trend was girls doing it, but I've been to some concerts and some people in bands will wear them also. But you've seen those hats?
Yes.
Would you wear one of those hats?
I can't pull it off.
I would never wear one of those hats.
I like them.
Well, I don't. I'm just telling you. I don't care what attire I have on. If somebody would be like, "Hey, man, if you threw on that tiny cowboy hat, you'd have her dialed in." I wouldn't do it. It would never happen. I will never buy one of those hats. There's just certain trends I won't do. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. If you have one of these hats, I'm not mouthing you because I know it's trendy, but I know when some people wear those hats and they look like some girls wear them and it just completes their outfit. Mm-hmm. I think the hats are stupid, but I'm just saying I'm not so dumb to know that it looks stylish.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just not my thing. I would never wear it. I just wouldn't. But but let me tell you when you shouldn't wear it, even if that's your fit. Usually people wearing scarves with and coats. It's a whole winter ensemble, I feel like. But I saw 3 dudes together hanging out. 3 dudes just hanging out. 3 guys together. They all 3 had those hats on. Do you know how stupid they look? Look dumb. They look dumb. And all I could think, I couldn't even focus on my meal because I'm like, why would you guys do that? It's the same thing. It's the same. I feel the same. If 3 guys are hanging out and I'll complete the thought. I rambled there. I'll complete the thought. But if 3 guys are hanging out and all their hats are backwards, in my head I always think the same way.
Yeah.
If we all got the same glasses on, same way. But those hats are over the top anyway, and people stare at them. And 3 dudes were wearing those hats together at a table, and I couldn't even eat because I was I was fat. I'm going to make up a word here. I was fascinated by nerdism. Yeah, I was fascinated by
classic nerdism.
Yeah, is that a word?
It is now.
Yeah, I thought I made that up. But it's the same trend. Like there's just things I'll never get into. I can assure you, I'm not mouthing. I am mouthing it. That's what I do. But it's not like I hate your soul for it.
Yeah.
All right, but I'm never going to wear Hey Dudes. There will never be a day for me ever when I wear Hey Dudes ever.
I was just talking about this with
never happened.
My buddy that I work with, and you want to talk about nerdy. Let me look at the camera when I say this. Hey Dudes are the nerdiest shoes you could possibly put on your feet. They do not look good. I don't care how comfortable they are. You look like a dork. Take them off and throw them in the trash. They look horrible. They don't look good. I don't care if they're comfortable. Pick out a different pair of shoes. Okay, I'm done.
There's other comfortable shoes. I'm just not a Hey Dudes fan.
I can't describe how much I hate those stupid shoes.
I've spent most of my life not wanting to be like anybody else.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that I haven't drifted off trying to be somebody else. I don't know, but I've spent my life trying to not do it. And people know, like people that even know me, people that know me, that like they know that I have my own style, and it's not. I usually have fancy shoes on. I usually have fancy pants on. The top is usually not. For most of the time, it's not fancy. Some kind of pullover or whatever. And even if it's a sweater and it looks fancy, it's not. It's not like the shoes and the pants. And then back in the day, I'd wear my hat backwards. Like that was it. That would be my thing.
You have an alpaca sweater that's pretty fancy.
I just learned that. I just learned that. So here's what, if you haven't heard this, actually a few people who listen to this thing, they've already heard it.
Yeah.
Because it just happened like. All right, so there's this sweater I bought 3 years ago, and I only bought this sweater because it looked cool. It looked stylish. It's a zigzag pattern. You'd have to see. It was black and white zigzags. It's never been washed. It's never been washed until this past week. And you're like, well, that's gross. Well, no, because I only wore it on the back porch, and I would only wear it around the fire. It wasn't until about 2 or 3 weeks ago at a football game, I attempted to wear it. I also took it off that night for the same reason. So I'll finish the thought. So I've had it 3 years. I only wear it around the fire. And then I just hang it in the garage because it's warm. I'd only put it on when I'd go outside when it was cold outside. So I wanted to wear it at this last week's game, which by the way, the hometown I announced for, they got beat in the state semifinals. Like that's a whole other deal. I actually have, I like feelings about it. It hurts my feelings that they didn't win. Like it bothers me. Whatever. So so I wore it to the game, but it smelled like fire because I wore it around a fire the night before. Well, so for the first time ever, I'm like, I'll throw it in the washer. So I threw it in the washer. I pull it out, but before I put it in the dryer, I looked at the tag and it said dry clean only. So I thought, oh crap! Why can't? So I'm not going to put it in the washer. But at the time, at looking at the tag, that's when I figured out it's made out of alpaca. Now, what you don't know is you can't wear that sweater anywhere unless it's 15 degrees outside because you sweat.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was made out of. I knew where I got it. Like I knew it was a fine sweater, but it's made out of alpaca.
I mean, you told me, you're like, Layton, every time I've ever worn this, I have to take it off because I start sweating. It doesn't matter how cold it is outside.
You don't even have to walk. You don't have to move. You just have to sit there. And I was at a football game. It wasn't real windy, but I don't know. It was probably 40 degrees.
I think that night it was like 35 or something.
I was sweating.
Yeah, it was cold.
I took it. It's hot. So I didn't realize that I'm an alpaca wearer.
Yeah.
So if you guys, everyone, if you want to heat your life up, wear that thing to the club and see what happens.
Make sure to drink some water before because you'll be dehydrated.
Yeah, make sure you have those. What are those hydration things? I've been my favorite. They're my new favorite. I love them.
We talk about them.
Anyway, make sure you got about 4. I'll think of it in a second. Make sure you got 4 or 5 of those in your back
Prime.
pocket. Is it Prime? No.
Is it not Prime?
No, I love those when I mowed this summer. That's not it. Liquid IV.
Liquid
Make
IV.
sure you got 5 liquid IVs in your pocket, because you'll sweat to death when you're in the club in that thing. Because you put it on thinking you look good, right? Because it's a fun and it feels good
and it's nice. Like I complimented it when you came in. I was like, oh, I really like that sweater.
Yeah, well, you feel good. You should wear it about 3 minutes. So, make the first impression and then say you got to go.
Yeah,
like that's it, because it's way too hot for regular use. Sorry for the interruption, everybody. I was just sorry for interrupting the show. I was just going to tell you, hey, I need you to know that people say, where did you get that lavish beard? And I say, well, the lavish beard I grew because I'm a lavish beard grower. But the reason it's so silky smooth is because I use Winchester Ranch Beard Co. products. Top oils on the market. I've been using them for years, or last year because it just started. But that's why my face looks so good. Tell your friends and use that. Okay? Talk to you later. Forgot one. American Survival Co. Everybody, American Survival Co. They're the top survival school in the entire world. You know, I know everything for my survival needs, that's why I use American Survival Co. Go check out their website at americansurvivalco.com. Get all the details and information about team building exercises and all the things that you can do. It's really an awesome place. And the 2 guys who own the place, they also are the host of the new Netflix show, Snowflake Mountain. And that's awesome. Go check them out. Now back to the show. Love you. So anyway, I don't know what I was thinking about that, but LBJ hats, terrible. Just to summarize, the Claremore thing, I did not see her when she was in Claremore. And what's sad is most of Claremore did, because they went down there to be like, look, that's Candace Cameron. And I didn't, it's DJ. I made some reference earlier in my childhood. I was either going to marry Ashley from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was going to marry DJ from Full House, or I was going to marry Topanga from Boy Meets World. Those are the 3. Those are the 3 that we were going to make dreams happen.
Oh, yeah.
Had we crossed each other, it never happened. So, and I didn't even go down to see her. I'm fine with it. I probably will watch the movie. Now, having said that, because I skipped a couple of weeks here. 2 weeks ago, I was in Hobbs, New Mexico. So, you hear me talk on this thing if you listen. And I'd been in Pecos, Texas for this project. It's a I don't know. I mean, some of the people are nice there. A lot of people are nice there, but it's not like a vacation destination. And but I spent the last week in Hobbs. I went through, there was an earthquake, a 5.4 earthquake.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yeah. And it was weird because I was sitting in this class, and the instructor who was teaching the class, he said, I forgot to take my pills. This is important to the story. So I forgot to take my pills. He's like, I feel weird. I need to take my pills. So he went and took them. And then within 5 minutes of that, I heard it sounded like an explosion, like a distant explosion, and the building shook. So I thought, is it artillery? Because you'll feel the ground rumble. So I thought, man, what is that? The building shook, and it shook for like 2 seconds. So it immediately eliminated the thought of maybe some kind of explosion, because it shook for like 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
He never stopped talking, the instructor. So I cut him off. There's four other people in class, 3 other people in class. I cut him off and I said, did we just have an earthquake? That's what I said. And he paused and stared at me, and he said, did the building shake? And I said, yes. He said, oh gosh, thank you. I thought something was wrong with my equilibrium because I didn't take these pills and I wasn't feeling right.
Yeah.
And he thought it because it like you made your head wobble like this, and like he thought something was wrong with him.
He was relieved.
Yeah, but here's okay. And the other guys, then they immediately chimed in like, that was an earthquake. And then somebody looked it up 30 seconds later. It was a 5.4 earthquake. So it actually was. By the way, close to where even though I was in Hobbs, it was like right by Pecos.
Oh, wow.
So I felt it. But that's the first earthquake I've ever been in. People tell me, because we live here in Oklahoma, and they're like, oh, did you feel it?
Well, we had one during a podcast, and you didn't believe me.
Well, you see, there's where I'm going with that. You said, what did you like? Made some kind of weird eye contact. Like it was an earthquake. I'm like, no, I don't think it was. And then we looked it up.
I think it was.
If there were, well, apparently nobody in Oklahoma knew that it was an earthquake except for Layton. But like when the other ones happened, people say, "Did you feel it shake?" Well, the big one that hit in this area, where everybody that was here, they all say they felt it. I was out of town, so I didn't feel it. I missed it.
About to reference that because I forgot where I was. I don't know what house I was in, but anyways, like it was the biggest one I've ever felt.
But you knew you were in.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was like pictures on the wall moved, and it was weird.
So my weird thought when that was happening, when that earthquake hit, I remember like just being. It was only like 3 seconds, 2 or 3, and I was like jostled around, and then it stopped, and then I immediately thought, if you were in, I don't know, California in the 80s, when that thing was like a 7.4 or 5 or whatever, and I think it shook for multiple seconds.
Yeah.
I don't remember how long, but you had to be scared to death.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't, there's nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. Now, I say that, and I don't know if this is entirely accurate, but I think it is. It's stuff you could look up. But because I think you'd be jostled around, there's nothing you could do, and you would be like, there's nothing to do. Like, where are you going to run? You can't run. Well, get out of the building, I guess. But if it's shaking that bad, it's probably going to flip you when you're trying to run.
Yeah.
You know? So I just said, what would you do? But I know that my friend's daughter, I guess she's my friend. She's more like family. I've known her since she was born. But my friend's daughter, she's in the Air Force. And there was a 7.4 earthquake in Japan. And she's recording it. She had it on a live, or not a live, but whatever, Facebook. She posted it. Her whole closet's moving. The whole building's moving. And she's just laying there. Like, all the things I knew when I was a kid. All the things, like, get under your desk.
Yeah, that's what we were taught.
Get in the door frame or run outside. She's laying in her bed just recording. Well, so maybe you're not scared to death.
Yeah.
Maybe the earthquakes happen there. That's a lot bigger because she didn't move at all. Yeah. And I like text her on the side or Facebook Messenger. I was like, "What did you do?" She's like, "I just laid here till it stopped."
Just wrote it out.
Yeah. But, then I thought, like, well, is that because they're in Japan and the buildings are they're made to withstand that?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because I forgot. How long ago was that?
6 months ago?
Okay, yeah.
A year ago, maybe?
I saw a video. That would be so weird if that was the video that I saw on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. Anyways, I saw a video of an earthquake in Japan. And that's what they said, that their structures are built totally different to withstand the earthquakes.
Yeah, I had a friend from California before, and her dad was, I don't know, construction, and they made buildings to withstand. I don't know. I could have spit it off back in the day, but they made buildings so when it shook, it didn't rupture the foundation. Right. I don't know if it's on springs, whatever it did. It was allowed. It was allowed to move. So. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, yeah. The point is I was in an earthquake finally, so I can tell people that I've done that.
Yeah. Did you buy a shirt?
No, I'm thinking about making one.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I survived COVID and
an earthquake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big hit around town.
You know what you didn't survive?
What's it?
My wife in fantasy football this week.
We're not going to talk about it because it's stupid. I mean, he says that, but like I got the best record in the league. It's not even close. And it's just a fluke game, really.
You just sucked all the fun out of that.
Yeah, this is a real fluke game.
I was like having fun, and I did that weird haha, and then you're like, it's fluke. I have the best record. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh well, like I do or whatever.
Back to reality.
Listen, what was I going to say? My daughter, what did she say the other day? You watched the movie The Outsiders?
No.
Well, I don't know if she has either. I don't know if she's watched it either, to be honest, off the top of my head. But she said in her sleep.
And while she was sleeping?
Yeah, this is all she said. By the way, she'll often talk in her sleep because occasionally she'll sleep in our bed. So,
Yeah.
She's 9.
Yeah.
I don't know when it ends or whatever, but the other one quit doing that. The other one never did do that actually, but so she said, if Pony Boy and the other guys are home.
Is that from that movie?
I don't know. I mean, Pony Boy's from that movie. She said, if Pony Boy and all the guys are home. What does that mean? Like what? Why is that the one sentence you said out loud when you were asleep?
Yeah, she was planning something in her sleep.
Yeah, it shook her. I'm like, wake up!
Yeah.
What does that even mean? If Pony Boy and all the guys are home. I don't even know if she's even watched that movie. I don't know.
I don't know what else that could mean.
Have you seen that movie?
No.
Do you know about it though?
No. What is it? Scary? What?
Oh, I haven't told you the name of it. The Outsiders.
Yeah, you told me the name.
Yeah, you haven't watched it.
Mm-mm.
Well, it's I guess it's a S.E. Hinton book, and it was a book, and then the movie was recorded here in Tulsa. Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise. I don't know. I mean, I've seen the movie. I think I've watched the movie one time in my life, and it was in the last. Like some people are like, "What? It's classic."
Yeah, if I saw Tom Cruise in it,
I've heard of the movie my whole life. I watched the movie about a year ago, just because Danny Boy from House of Pain bought the house, and so like he revived it. Now it's a museum, so I showed up to watch it, and it's a good movie. So Thanksgiving, did you go anywhere for Thanksgiving?
Not. I mean, to my grandparents' house and my in-laws. Nothing fancy.
I went to my in-laws. That's where I went, but we go there every year. I mean, we're 20 years into going there for. It's called Thanks Christmas at our house.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, because we don't do Christmas with that side of the family, so we go there. We sat by the fire. I'm gonna shorten this whole deal. Nothing real. It's a fun time. My description that I'm about to give you is not indicative of what happened, but I literally can summarize. Yeah, you wake up in the morning, we all hang out. We didn't go anywhere this year. There was usually a little more activities. We played games at nighttime as a family, just like one. And then we go set up by the fire. And then we do it the next day.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And then it rained 2 days in a row. That was it. That was the week. But I went to Texarkana because I had to work, and the internet doesn't work in the middle of nowhere. So I went to Texarkana, went to this cigar shop. I was the only one there because it was holiday week, I guess. It was awesome. I was just by myself in these leather chairs and just doing work. Well, I gave you all that rambling to get to this. There's a trampoline park, and I took the kids there. I've never done it before. I personally have never actually stepped foot on a trampoline in a trampoline park, but I've done it a few times with my kids. So I found one there, and because the days were slow, I was like, I'll take the kids. Let's go. I don't even know why I'm being long-winded about it, because this story has nothing to do with any of the kids. The point is like you go, and they have basketball goals. I'm going to assume at all of them. There's also a dodgeball thing. I didn't do anything again. I just walked around in shoes. But I bought 2 hours worth of time so these kids could jump to their heart's desire for 2 hours, which I probably should have done it. So I go use the restroom. Well, the restroom, you got to walk to the back wall, and then the restroom's back there. When you walk out, the basketball goals like border the back wall. There's this, I'm going to use this word. I know it's derogatory for some people. It's fine. I'm going to use the word because I don't like the way it went down. There's a 14-year-old kid. I'm going to guess he's 13, 14. He's 14. This is a 14-year-old fat kid. And this kid, now I just said it for a reason because I don't like what happened. So he's jumping on the trampoline. There's basketball goals 3 heights. Mm-hmm. He's not even on the high one. He's on the middle one. And so he's jumping on the trampoline and he jumps up and he dunks it with 2 hands. This is kid. He dunks it with 2 hands. This 5'7",
chubby,
270-pound kid.
Gosh.
And lands and stares me in the eye with a frown like he's LeBron James. Like we were playing each other and he dunked it on top of me. I'm walking from the bathroom, and I just saw up in the he saw somebody coming, so he was like really hamming it up. But he jumped up and dunked it with two hands, barely made it over the rim because the trampoline couldn't support him. And then he stares at me. He stares me in the eye with a frown, and I thought, oh, bro, you're an idiot. It made me mad. It almost made me. Had that not been the last pee before we walked out the door, I would have went and bought socks to go over there and play him. like he punked me.
Yeah,
walking out of the bathroom. Yeah. So stupid.
That is awesome.
Good
for that kid. And he's now that you tell that story, you're mad and you call him fat. I'm happy that he did that, and I'm gonna call him big boned.
Why would he do? I mean,
that is awesome.
Look, you know where I would have accepted the mean mug if we were on some concrete courts and I would walk behind it and that fat kid jumped up and dunked the ball. I would have been like, "Oh my god, this kid's for real." No, you're not for real. You're at a trampoline park and you're on the middle goal. It was probably 7 foot tall.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
Golly, son.
Embarrassing for you, not him.
Yeah, do something with your life.
He owned you. He did do something with his life.
I think trampoline parks, I think it's bad news for kids. Well, outside of liability and somebody breaks something every day, I just think it's bad news for kids. It gives them a false sense of hope.
Like that kid?
Well, like that kid.
He probably thinks he's going to the league, huh?
People, yeah, he's trying out for the team next year. Like the kids, they go do all the flips on the trampolines, but they can't do it on the ground. That's just a false hope deal, I think. But yeah, I got punked by.
Well, did you get punked though?
Well, he thought he did. That's why he was mean mugging me. Like he punked me. I just went to go pee. Like you didn't do anything fancy. Like to be honest, it kind of made me mad.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Also, for anybody that listens to this, and because I always talk about airports and because I spend a lot of time in them, but I'm not going to Pecos anymore.
Woohoo!
I've
Where's that place?
Graduated. Huh? Why would you cut? I'm not doing this. Cut my applause game off. So yeah, I'm going to Pittsburgh now, which I'm pretty excited about. But I think it's a longer flight, because when you go from Tulsa to Dallas, Dallas to Midland, it's like 45 minutes. It's not going to be extremely further, but I got to go from St. Louis to Pittsburgh. It's probably an hour and a half.
Yeah,
maybe 45. Hour 45. But I don't know, but I'm assuming. Actually, probably long because of time zone. It may be longer than that, but the actual flight is whatever. But I saw somebody. Well, what am I saying? You gotta find a better way to spend your time. I've been watching Suits, the series Suits.
Yeah,
that's what I've been watching. But I saw this lady, and she was like a 65-year-old lady. I know people don't really fly.
How?
I believe this. I could be off because somebody may say, "Well, that's not true. I read." This is what I think. You know how I know people don't fly on planes? For starters, because they got the neck pillow, the U-shaped neck pillow. Yeah. Nobody who flies every day, nobody who flies all the time brings the neck pillow with them. Yes, it's just stupid. I don't think it works. I don't think it works.
No.
I don't think they work.
No.
And the way that I believe they work, because if you put it around your neck, this is not the way I believe they work. You put it around your neck and you lean back against the seat behind you. You got 6 inches of pillow that just touched the seat, so your head actually pushes forward.
Yeah, then you're like this.
Yeah, so you look like an idiot. You look like this. You look like this.
Yeah,
yeah. I believe they work best if you put them in the front. So when you put your chin down, it like keeps your head level. That's what I think.
Yeah, but then you look even more nerdy than you already do.
I don't know. I think you look like an idiot when you got them on. Well, that's the point is I don't think they work. So you don't fly if you do that, and you also don't fly. Who read 65-year-old lady? That's where I was going with it. She was reading a Danielle Steele novel
with a neck pillow.
No,
dang it.
No, but she was reading a Danielle Steele novel. You know that the paperback books you buy in Walmart, the love stories, like Danielle Steele. Literally, I'd have to look it up. she's probably wrote 1,000 books.
Yeah.
And they're all 500 pages of crap, just like that. Like, he loves me. He's, well, you know, it's like they're all love stories.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. Who reads love stories?
That lady.
Yeah, but if you're going to read a book
And your wife.
and you like want to learn something, like who read? Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, your wife does.
Yeah, man, it's nerdy. Sarah, who wakes up in the morning like, I'm going to go to the store because I can't wait to get into a good romance novel.
And then they're about to get on the plane. They're like, I'm about to tear this book up.
Yeah, it's just not anything that even sounds. It doesn't sound cool. I'm a movie watcher. Yeah. Well, I just said I've been watching Suits. I can watch movies. If I'm gonna fly, I'm gonna watch whatever.
What
Or work. But I'm not reading. I don't know. It's just not a thing. I think sometimes people do things because they think that's what you're supposed to do on them. That's why I think happens sometimes. Like, who reads? Right now, I'm sounding like an idiot to a lot of people, but who reads books when you're flying? Like, what are you trying to get out of it? I love a good Louis L'Amour novel. Like, if you're going to be in town at work, so you're going to get on the plane and you're going to read whatever, you know, everybody's got their own rate of speed of reading, but you're going to read whatever chapters, and then you're going to get off the plane. If you're in town for business, you're going to get a rental car or an Uber. You're not going to read in the Uber. Then you're going to go straight to work or check into the hotel. Once I get in the city that has things to do, you think I'm going to lay on the bed and read a Danielle Steele novel?
No, but that lady probably did. I bet if that lady was reading on the plane, I bet she read in the Uber.
I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I just think that stuff is weird. I don't know if it's Danielle Steele, but you remember Fabio? Probably not, you're too young, but Fabio was on the cover of every paperback novel. They were all romance novels, and he was like on the cover of them, of all of them.
Yeah,
as a kid.
I was about to say it rings a bell, but I might have been too young.
But I'm not reading them. So anyway, last night I went to my friend's house and we watched. So my friend Luke, he likes John Hughes. Actually, well, I say he like he's the only one that likes it. John Hughes. I should probably research these things. I don't know. Writer, director, or whatever. I don't think he's a writer. I think he's a director. Whatever. His list of movies that he's made or produced. Right now, people are like, you don't know what he does? No, but everybody knows his name. He made Home Alone and all those other movies. You go down the list of things that he made. It's every classic 80s movie ever made.
Really?
Oh, outside of like actual action films or whatever. He did them all. All those cult classics, he did them all. Like, just go down the list. Home Alone, Ferris Bueller, Breakfast Club, the 16 Candles, all the 80s. Anybody that's older, well, my age and older, that lived through those times, he did them all. So in the 80s, no, whatever. That's when he made them. So my friend said, hey, come watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Or he asked me if I'd watched it. He said 3 years ago. I saw his post today. I think it was longer than that. He's like, don't watch it until we watch it together. So I said, okay, because I had never seen it. And I've never seen it. So I finally found the time to go watch it. So they actually delayed and they're pretty big on tradition. They delay their tradition the day before Thanksgiving, and they did it on Saturday. So I went and watched the movie. It was great. Have you seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? It's funny. And if you do watch the John Hughes films, you get you get all the references. It's just his style. And I thought it was pretty cool. So I went and watched it with him and his family. You know, my homie Maxwell.
Yep.
Got to get Maxwell on this thing too.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Maxwell's, now that he's older, he's got way cooler stuff to tell us, I'm sure.
He's probably more entertaining than me.
He's entertaining. I don't know more than you, but he's entertaining.
Yeah.
He's an entertaining guy. It's my homie Maxwell right there. So he made these pizzas, and they're fantastic. I really am, just because I said I would talk about it. He made this pizza, I don't know, a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. He grows all of his own stuff, like in his garden. It's important to know. Like I don't have the time for any of this. I don't think most people do, but He grows everything and he cooks everything from scratch, all of it. So he made this pizza. It's the greatest pizza I've ever eaten in my life, ever. It was made with Hatch chilies and it was hot. So he's like, hey, are you coming over? And by the way, I don't know what the peppers are. If I look at them and hold them, I have no idea what they are. So I get to his house and I see these. I knew he was going to like do that for me. I was like, oh, Hatch chilies. He's like, oh, those aren't Hatch chilies. So then I thought, well, this is going to suck. That's what I thought. Well, not suck because they're all great, right? But that's what. I don't know, man. He just makes pizza, but it's spicy. Have you ever had spicy pizza?
No.
Well, I always had jalapenos, but like,
Well, yeah.
It's great. It's the greatest. I know we talked about other stuff. There's nothing funny here. I'm just telling you. Outside of this is what I'll say. The things that he was making me listen to were sentimental, so I'm not making fun of that. But like, he's a real. I don't know how to work because I just told you he grows all his own food. He cooks everything from scratch. Everything he does, he's a purist.
You're talking about Luke, right?
Yeah. I think that's the best way to word it. So his dad got him into these speakers, Norman speakers.
Yeah, I've heard of
that. And he has these tube amps. So he pulls the chair up and he's like, you got to hear this. So the whole family's standing around, but when you're in the center of the two sound waves, it's like the best sound. So he made everybody else just not talk for 20 minutes. Why? He said, you got to hear this. When he pulled the chair up, I thought it was for him because it was his chair. And he's like, no, sit in the middle. You got to hear
awesome.
this. You got to hear this. So I did. Which it wasn't weird. He played Norah Jones, which I like Norah Jones. But he played Norah Jones. He played Blue Notes, and then he played Steely Dan. It was his dad's favorite band. But while everybody had to sit in silence, and if anybody spoke in the middle of playing the record, nobody talked when it was on, just in the middle of it, he was like, be quiet! Like he would yell at him like it had to be like a strict silence in there. It was a fine sound, but it's a weird thing to say that. And he made this reference, but it's true. As we progress through music, like that old, you know, because you have all the records.
Yeah.
You have all the records. To hear the sound of the records, because he made this reference, and then I noticed. I didn't notice before. When you play a record and they're playing the guitar in that real crisp system that he had, you can hear people's fingers slide on the guitar string.
Yep. I mean, even on my little cheap one, you can still you can just hear stuff in it that you can't on digital or CD.
Well, and then he told me, he's like, oh, because the real song, he was using his hands. But for anybody not watching this, the real song when it's recorded, it's 3 feet long. He didn't say 3 feet. I'm just referencing people who are not watching videos. It's 3 feet long, but then they make these CDs and they compress it into a half foot.
Yeah.
And he's like, you just missed so much.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty cool. It's funny that he made me sit and listen while everybody else had to sit in silence.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I thought
that's funny.
Well, it's a fine day. And those pizzas were great. I mean, I'm just telling you, he made this Hatch chili pizza is the greatest thing I've ever eaten in my life.
I know. I wanted to see a picture of the pizza.
He may have actually taken a picture.
Oh, really?
Like when he made it like a year ago.
But he's such a good writer that like he could probably just type it out and I could just picture it in my head.
Oh yeah, but listen, he makes stuff up. It's because right now, if he's listening, he's mad right now, this second. Listen, he's been hot on two things. He's been saying it for years. This literally has never ever happened.
I know the first one.
Ever happened ever. And I'll give $1,000 to anybody that can give me a picture to show me that it's happened.
Oh, I know both of them.
I don't think you do. Have you?
Mm-hmm. Well, because I brought up one, and then you told me the second one.
I don't know if you know what I'm about to tell you.
Well, can I tell you the first one?
Yeah.
The appetizers.
No.
No,
that was a dumb thing he told my daughter, which has also never happened. But I'm talking about, he just started that because about 5 years ago, my daughter, he's like, oh, you went to the Olive Garden? She's like, yeah. He's like, did you get a boat of Alfredo? And she's like, no, Dad doesn't let me get appetizers, which is a complete lie because literally like once in her life, we didn't do it. And we didn't do it because I told her no because it was $3 or whatever it was. I don't know. We ordered other appetizers.
And this is reference to one of Luke's posts of him saying like, poor Lloyd's kids don't get appetizers at restaurants.
Completely made up, but that's not the one. But we're talking about, I'm talking 20, 30 years he's been saying, and his dad was saying it too. Well, one of them. He tells everybody, this is why I say he makes stuff up. He tells everybody that I shaved my eyebrows like Vanilla Ice and put lines in them. And he swears I did it. He's like, I swear he did. No, I didn't, because my mom and dad would have never let me shave my eyebrows like Vanilla Ice. So there's one. If you can give a picture, I'll give you $1,000, because there's no picture in existence of the world that has it, because it literally never happened.
I could see that though.
It's literally never happened ever. He made it up. And the next one was, I don't know where everybody goes to church at, or if they do at all. But where I grew up, in the church, for the kids, like different activities, they had puppets.
Oh yeah.
You've heard of this?
Yep.
I literally never for 3 minutes, not for 3 minutes of my childhood life was I in puppets. I didn't even like go to a meeting and be like, nope, and walk out. I have never been in puppets. I was not even almost in it.
Like you're talking about as in like being the person?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that too.
Where my hands go through the heads and I'm talking with the puppets. I have never done puppets. I never wanted to do puppets. And to this day, he was trying to make up some story about something I did in puppets. And I'm like, Luke, I was never in puppets, ever. And I'll give you $1,000 if you can take a picture of me with puppets.
Yeah.
Never happened. And he says it all the time. And he don't come off of it. And that's the thing. That's what, because he won't come off of it. Then people are like, oh, you did that, Lloyd. No, I didn't. He's like, no.
Is it convincing when he talks?
Oh, he thinks he is, but he's full of it. No. People know. Yeah, well.
I mean, I could see you with a Vanilla Ice eyebrow, and I could see you behind a puppet. So
yeah, you know, I got to get on here. I got to get him on here. I do. Luke 100% needs to be on there, but I got to get my cousin Chris Ross on here too. I was just thinking this. Chris listens to the show, but he's been in Florida for like 2 years, and he's like one of those traveling nurses or whatever. He's not a nurse, calf lab, whatever he does. But you know, he dove for like a year, and now he acts like he's Jock Christo.
Oh yeah,
Christo.
He switched up on you.
Yeah, not Cuso, Christo. Yeah, his name's Chris. That's who he thinks he is. And so he came home for the holidays. So he's here.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We got to get him on here. You got to hear this guy. He's got a real fancy mustache. One of those real ladies' man type mustaches.
I bet he has some good Lloyd stories.
He's got a lot of funny stories, but anyway, I was just thinking that. Listen, I think I don't know. You got anything?
No.
All right. Listen, we're going to go ahead and jump off here. Love everybody. Thanks for listening in. I'll give you just one minor Pete Rose update, because we always say it, even though, you know, Pete Rose doesn't listen to this show, but I do occasionally post it on the Pete Rose forum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's like 50,000 people that listen to it. He wrote a letter to the commissioner of baseball saying, I'm summarizing. This is not what he said. He did it respectful, but he did it very respectful because he's trying to get in. But I'm just, because it's stupid that he even has to write it. He wrote a letter to the baseball commissioner that basically said, quit being an idiot. I'm the greatest hitter ever.
Yeah.
Put me in. So put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. It's going to happen. And when it does happen, we'll just like reference all these shows and act like
that you contributed to it.
I did
it.
So, all right. Love everybody. Have a good week.